What up?
What's up, everybody?
What's happening? So, our first video got a whopping 17 views. Yeah, man, I can just smell the fame in the air.
You can, huh?
Yeah, I'm talking. That's just, yeah,
So, who's gonna be more famous, me or you?
me.
No way. It's me by far.
You by far. Yeah, he's gonna be famous, much more famous than me.
Nah, it's gonna be us.
So, basically, we're gonna, answer another question this time around. Ah, bitch.
Another question,
Bitch.
guys.
And hopefully this is a good question. Here we go.
We feel like it's a good question. So, we're gonna start off like this. So, basically, the question is: do you think video games are a good thing for kids to play?
And that's a really good question. A lot of current parents would probably disagree with yes. A lot of current parents, politicians, and shit, like we had mentioned earlier, they would probably be like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
video games are violent and they teach kids how to fucking cuss." And last time I checked, bus drivers cuss more than video games do.
Yep.
Yeah, so be careful where you're sending your kids off to school.
What does that have to do with the video?
Well, what I'm saying though is that like video games, they got like a really bad rap because a lot of people think that video games influence children to do a lot of things that children shouldn't be fucking doing, like
Shooting,
in drugs,
violence,
sex. And sex, and knifing niggas from the back, and like. But that's really not the case. But I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think about that one?
Well, basically from kind of speaking on both of our behalves, like we both played video games when we were kids. While video games can be bad, I do think some games are inappropriate for kids, honestly. But at the same time, if you teach some kids at a young age about video games, and you kind of teach them the basics about it, more than likely not, they're going to become a gamer themselves as they grow up. And, I think if they start from an early age, while some of these politicians, parents, and stuff might disagree with the kids playing these kind of violent games, but, it's kind of like us. We grew up seeing this kind of stuff, and, you just be around it so much, you just kind of get immune to it. So, while you playing some crazy game and you're shooting or whatever, to us and other gamers, it's whatever. But someone who never experiences that and never sees that, for them, it's just like, whoa, what have video games come to?
Yeah. This ain't Pong, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. This ain't no Super Mario.
This ain't no tennis or nothing like that.
Yep.
Well, you definitely have a good point. Video games, like, especially for a lot of people who have grown up playing this stuff and really spend a lot of time as children, like with their with their parents and stuff like that. A lot of people who had Nintendos and Super Nintendos and Segas growing up. Video games, they can be a good thing. They do teach a lot of dexterity. They do teach a lot of hand-eye coordination. I wouldn't be able to play like fucking Fight Night or anything like that if I didn't have any previous concept of coordination with a controller.
True.
There's a lot of video games in particular. In my case, I grew up playing a lot of RPGs, and those taught me a lot of resource management. How to manage strategy, how to manage my money, even though I'm not good at that. But it really did show me a lot as to how to keep yourself alive in some situations. And if it wasn't for RPGs, Chrono Trigger in particular, I wouldn't have a concept of how to go out and make sure I hoard potions and ethers and don't share them motherfuckers with anybody else in my party. So I know I'm going to be alive in that final fucking battle, son.
Well, I mean, even though you are alive doesn't mean you're guaranteed you're going to win,
True.
True. You can always come super prepared and still not make it out,
Very true.
And that happens, more often than not, I'd say.
Yeah, that is true.
But at the same time, going back to the subject, though, video games go for kids? I think so. Teaches them hand-eye coordination, a bunch of good things at the very beginning, early age, and from there they can kind of just, as they grow up, they can kind of, tweak it themselves. And if they want to stop playing as they grow older, by all means, that's great. That's their choice. But I think it is good for them.
Yeah. Well, just before we close out the video, I definitely agree with you. I do think that video games can be good for kids, especially in the aspect of shit. Like, if you teach your kids at a younger age, like, especially if you are a parent, a real parent, and you are involved in your children's lives and you kind of actually monitor what they are playing, you do need to sit down and take some time with your children and let them know, like, look, that nigga you just shot, he might be yelling on that microphone, but that is not the right thing to do in real life, Yep. You do need to teach children that, guns, they are not toys. You do need to teach your children that, the language that is used, like especially in online game lobbies and things of that nature.
Yep.
That is not the way you speak in real life. You don't go up to the president and say, "What's up, my nigga?" You don't go up to your principal and say, "I'ma kill you." You don't,
or
your boss or anybody. You don't do stuff like that. A lot of what's going on in video games, these are parodies of real life. These are things that nobody's going to be doing in real life. They should not be doing this stuff in real life. Whenever you blast off of the side of a bridge, shooting somebody with an SMG, and, they're yelling and screaming at you like, "Oh my God, leave me alone," and this, that, and the other.
Just like you.
Just like me. A lot of this stuff is just not real. And
it's all a game.
It's all a game, and it needs to be reiterated. That needs to really be reiterated to children that, life is not a video game. Life is real life, and life will fucking kill you. Seriously. But that ends video number 2. Hey, we're going to be having plenty more coming.
Yep.
16, 17 views. Hey, man, we on the come up.
Get 20, 25,
Let's get 25
30.
this time. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we're going to be touching on a lot more serious subjects and things that people will actually turn their heads and actually want to listen to. But
very soon, guys.
Very soon. And in the meantime, hey, keep gaming it up.
Yeah.
Bitch.